This is the main news on Camnet TV today, Saturday, the 9th of December 2023. Let's take a look at the stories making the headlines. Cancellation of TUTWA NGULUBE'S memorial service annoys PF. ZACA urges ZICTA to prescribe punitive measures to erring mobile service providers. Speaker of the National Assembly urged to ignore expulsion of 9 PF members. And in international news, a former Burundian Prime Minister sentenced to life imprisonment. And in sports news, road safety stakeholders battle it out in a football tournament. For details of these and other stories, join us shortly after this break.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, 4th close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Welcome back with the news in detail. My name is Makokwa Kozi. A 28-year-old man of Lusaka's John Howard compound is appealing to well-wishers to help him expand his biogas-making plant so that he can contribute to the fight against climate change through the use of clean energy. Akim Ngandu, who makes biogas from organic compost, keto manure, among other things, says his project produces cooking fuel and fertilizer which, when improved, can be a game changer in preserving the environment. Ngandu says currently he has a challenge in storing the gas he produces and that it goes to waste when it is not being used. For details, we have a following report.
Innovation allows a country to discover opportunities that exist or are likely to emerge in time, to focus on existing business processes and practice that improve efficiency, to find potential customers, to minimize wastage, and to increase profits. In actualizing this explanation, a 28-year-old man of Lusaka's John Howard compound is making biogas and fertilizer from organic composites, keto manures, among others. Akim Ngandu says if improved, his project, which produces cooking fuel and fertilizer, can be a game changer in preserving the environment.
After seeing it somewhere, how someone was using it, so it motivates me. If I can have this, then I will reduce the cost of living, because I'll stop buying something like charcoal, electricity. It is a low material thing, in short. Because what I use here, I can use anything what I have around, such as green matters, vegetables, even chicken manure, pig, cow, and everything, whatever what is allowed.
Ngandu has since appealed to well-wishers to help him expand his plant so that he can contribute to the fight against climate change through the use of clean energy.
The thing which I can need for now, for proper storage of the biogas, one big thing is storage. When we have storage, we will be keeping gas for a period of time, and even for selling, you can sell it. And the other thing, I have no machines to purify the gas. The one which I have here, it's not purified, and it is very difficult to use to supply it because it is not purified. So if there is an organization or someone, the well-wishers, who can provide the materials I can be using here, such as machines, or to expand this project into a big industry.
With such creative and determined minds, there is need for government to play its role of creating an enabling environment that leads to financial gain and increased income flows for its youthful innovators. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
The Young Men Christian Association, YMCA, has called for investment in awareness-raising programs and legal frameworks that protect women and girls. YMCA President Vincent Chirwa says it is only through active engagement and allocation of resources that a generation free of gender-based violence, GBV, can be created. Mr. Chirwa made the remarks during the symposium on gender-based violence organized by YMCA Saturday morning. Here's a report.
The Young Men Christian Association, YMCA, has held a youth symposium on gender-based violence, GBV. This is in line with this year's 16 days activism against GBV, which comes to a close Sunday, December 10th, 2023. Speaking on the sidelines of the event, YMCA President Vincent Chirwa underscores the importance of engagement and collaboration in ending the underlying causes of GBV in society.
Young people who are very vulnerable in many ways. So we had to pick people from, there are people that are from the university, in fact all the universities in Osaka, and then we have the police and the civil society organizations. So we felt very uniquely positioned because we have academic mindsets, the young people, and those who are already in this.
Chisiki Ngandu is a gender representative for the organization and shares more insight about the event.
Aware of what is going on within our societies, and also to be able to know and understand, to equip each and every person out there to know what they can do as individuals, as institutions, to help our community out there, so that each and every person is able to defend themselves, to help themselves, get help where necessary if they are victims of gender-based violence.
Other stakeholders who attended the event also shares their thoughts on addressing GBV issues among youths in the country.
Doesn't even know, or they may not know that they are actually conflicting with the law in this matter. So it's very important for us, at least to talk to them, even as they commit or they engage themselves in certain things, they will be able to know that actually this, by doing this, we are conflicting ourselves with the law.
In the name of love, there is also a lot of crime being committed. But this symposium was bringing us to a place of understanding that we need to take a moment and look at what is it that is going to be done differently in order to balance up issues squarely.
Meanwhile, earlier addressing the youths, musician and activist Brian Wembia, popular as B-Flow, talked to the youths about peer pressure and how to overcome it.
So in the process, because you're hearing it from your friends or you're seeing it among your friends, you decide to ask to also adopt that lifestyle, and you also do it. The same thing happens in colleges. We see the culture of blessers and sugar daddies, where this very good girl who came from a very good home is suddenly influenced by what she is seeing or what he is seeing.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
The Zambia Consumer Association has demanded for more punitive action against erring mobile network operators. ZACA Executive Secretary Juba Sakala says the announced compensation order by the Zambia Information and Communication Authority, ZICTA, to Airtel is a mockery. Mr. Sakala says going forward, ZICTA should consider including suspension of licenses of the mobile network operators as a punitive measure to ensure such does not repeat itself. ZICTA Saturday directed Airtel Company Limited to compensate its customers following delays of intermittent internet and services. We have more in the following report.
Mobile money in Zambia has seen tremendous growth, giving the traditional banking sector a run for its money. According to statistics, in 2022, mobile money transactions reached a value of 170 billion kwacha, compared to 95 billion kwacha in 2021. It is for this reason that any disturbance has witnessed on one of Zambia's mobile network operators, Airtel Network Zambia PLC, has far-reaching consequences on citizens. One of the affected citizens of Lusaka, Eric Mwamba, says the intermittent network services experienced in recent days were inconveniencing.
The past 3 days, the network has really been bad, and it has really affected the business because most of the sole traders are using Airtel money to make payments, and it has really affected us. You find you are making a payment, but it's not going through, and you only have money in Airtel money. We've seen even the jokes that are circulating, say Airtel money, one day we'll run away with our money. So initially, the network has really affected us.
Meanwhile, commenting on the Zambia Information and Communication Technology, ZICTA's move ordering Airtel to apologize and compensate its customers, Zambia Consumer Association ZACA is of the view that more needs to be done. ZACA Executive Secretary Juba Sakala says going forward ZICTA should tighten sanctions against erring mobile network operators to ensure that such acts do not repeat.
Giving them a fine which is directing them to compensate clients for 2 days, it's okay, but for ZACA it's not enough because we expected them to do more, like even punishing them by suspending their license for 2 days or so, so that the history shouldn't repeat itself, because we have seen that some of the times they do that with impunity, which is unfortunate. So even if the compensation is there, but we are told that it is a very minimal compensation which does not even make any difference. And we hope we do not see a mockery compensation.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
A Lusaka-based political activist, Wesley Mianda, has advised Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, not to recognize the expulsion of 9 Patriotic Front members of Parliament by the Mao's Sampa-led faction. Mr. Mianda says the Speaker should wait for the conclusion of all PF court cases, adding that recognizing the expulsion will mean by-elections, which he says will be a burden to the country. PF faction leader Mao Sampa to avoid making impulse decisions. Here's a report.
In a contentious turn of events, the Patriotic Front held an extraordinary general conference on 24th October 2023 at Lusaka's Mulungushi International Conference Center, where Mao Sampa was declared the party president after securing over 2,000 votes, defeating 6 other candidates. Mao Sampa, who currently serves as Material Member of Parliament, pledged to work towards uniting the party after emerging victorious. In yet another twist, Mr. Sampa appointed Morgan Ngona as Party Secretary General, who on Wednesday, December 6th, 2023, announced the expulsion of 9 party lawmakers and a member of the Central Committee, Emmanuel Mwamba. The expelled MPs include Ronald Chirotera, Nixon Chilangwa, Christopher Kangombe, Brian Mundubirem, Stephen Kampiongo, and Mutotwe Kafwaya, among others. But PF faction chairperson for legal affairs, George Sangam, says Mao Sampa and his appointees have no authority to expel anyone as they are not members of the party.
The public is aware that the Central Committee of the Patriotic Front expelled Mr. Mao Sampa somewhere on the 22nd or 23rd of October, this year. In terms of effectiveness, whatever Mr. Sampa is doing, whatever Mr. Ngona is doing, lacks effectiveness on the basis of the PF Constitution, on the basis of the principles of natural justice, and on the basis of just common sense.
Meanwhile, governance activist Wesley Mianda has advised Speaker of the National Assembly, Nelly Muti, not to recognize these expulsions as they have economic repercussions on the country.
Our appeal goes to Mr. Sampa and those that are in full support of him, that he should not be in a hurry to reach that level. Let him calm down and wait for the court to actually give the verdict. Because we need to know as to who should be the party president of PF. So far, these issues are before the courts of law. And if we allow that these 9 who have been expelled from the party should remain expelled, and Madam Nelly Muti takes an action by ejecting them from the house, then we'll have a lot of confusion. Do we know how much it costs for us to have by-elections? Do we know how much time we will need when we are talking about the high levels of poverty that we have in this country?
Mr. Mianda further says these are seasoned members of the House who should continue guiding new entrants. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
The Opposition Patriotic Front has expressed disappointment with the alleged state's involvement in the cancellation of the memorial service for the late party member of the Central Committee and lawyer TUTWA NGULUBE. Mporokoso Member of Parliament Brian Mundubile is accusing the state of forcing the family to cancel the service because they fear the PF. On Friday, December 8, Edgar Lungu-led faction Vice President Given Lubinda appealed to party members to turn out in their regalia, a move that displeased the police, who issued a warning shortly after. Earlier, Mr. NGULUBE'S family had cautioned against politicizing the service, which was to be led by the church. Here's a report.
On Saturday, December 3, 2022, Zambians woke up to a rude shock after the death of one of the most celebrated lawyer and politician, TUTWA NGULUBE. The former Kabwe Central Member of Parliament died of suspected heart attack. Saturday, December 9, 2023, is the day his family had preserved for the first memorial service and unveiling of the tombstone, with a message to politicians not to politicize the event. However, on Friday, 8th December 2023, Edgar Lungu-led faction Vice President Given Lubinda appealed to party members to turn out in their regalias, a move that displeased the Zambia police, who issued a warning shortly after.
Appeal to all members of the party to turn out in their regalia, no matter how old it is, even if it's just a scarf or a cape, please don them on so that we show the whole world that the people who are honoring the memory of TUTWA NGULUBE are members of the Patriotic Front. But also I want to appeal to you, let us maintain peace, let us maintain cordiality, because TUTWA stood for justice, TUTWA stood for peace. Let us stand firm. We are aware of the fact that there are some hooligans who are being bussed already as I speak. They are being bussed into Kabwe to go and cause havoc. My word to them is watch out, be careful. You cannot push up people for too long. You can't push up people against the wall. Watch out. We warn you, don't come and do any hanky-panky business in Kabwe, because we want to be peaceful. We want to honor the memory of TUTWA.
Morning of the actual day, Mr. NGULUBE'S family has cancelled the function, a move that some PF officials blame on government.
As PF, we are very disappointed by the actions taken and the involvement in a private family matter by the state. Because today we should have been commemorating 1 year of the death of TUTWA NGULUBE and unveiling the tombstone. TUTWA NGULUBE had two professions. He was a lawyer and he was a politician.
What we are experiencing is the diminishing democratic space, the violation of human rights, the violation of fundamental rights that are enshrined in our Constitution. You can imagine that it is so bad in this country that the state prevailed on the family to cancel a memorial service, all because they are scared of Patriotic Front Party. Honorable TUTWA NGULUBE was a very senior member of the party. He was a member of Central Committee. He also rendered legal services to the party. As a result of his commitment to the service of this country and the party, TUTWA had a lot of friends.
Today was supposed to be a day when I was supposed to go and see where he has been laid to rest. But just to be faced with this. And my question to the UPND, because whatever they do, the yardstick to them is the PF. When Samansama was killed with a bullet, they said Edgar Lungu has killed Samansama. Did anybody see Edgar Lungu at Freedom Park, where that is Samansama, the prosecutor, was killed? The answer is no. So since it's the yardstick, today I'm asking them, when did you see the Patriotic Front stopping any mourners to mourn according to their tradition?
TUTWA NGULUBE'S family representative Joseph Nkata has ruled out politics in the cancellation of the memorial service, saying the family reached the decision because of some unfinished works.
Oh, the reason is that we did not finish the work at the site. We will announce as soon as we finish everything. It's not because of that issue of regalia, sort of that, no. The most important issue was because of we did not finish the work.
Born on April 12, 1979, TUTWA Sandan Ngulube died on 3 December 2022, aged 43. Vincent Piri for Camnet TV News, Lusaka.
A businessman in Solwezi district has called on the local authority to consider setting up traffic lights on strategic roads. This follows the increase in road traffic accidents. Ndoi explains that the district has in recent years experienced an increase in the number of motorbikes being used as transport. Mr. Sondoi fears that without proper traffic lights at the strategic points, some innocent lives will be lost. He believes the increase in road traffic accidents is as a result of lack of traffic lights. Meanwhile, Solwezi Mayor Remy Kalepa says he is concerned with the way motorbike operators are conducting their businesses without following the traffic laws.
I submit traffic lights at signals because at some point when I was driving, I saw an incident where a school-going child was almost hit by a vehicle. This child was going to Kikombe Basic. So without proper traffic lights, I think we are going to lose a lot of lives. You all agree with me that Solwezi, of the past 2 years, we've seen an increase in the number of motorbikes. Solwezi, all of a sudden, has had motorbikes that have come, and we're experiencing road accidents every day. I think this is an issue of life and death. If this issue is not looked into immediately, I think we are going to lose a lot of lives. We have relatives that we have lost due to...
take out. Yesterday, one time, I was engaging in a motorbike operator for almost 5 minutes. I was with the active GPS, and I was even showing them videos of their colleagues in Rwanda where we went to say, look at your friends. One passenger, the motorbike with protective equipment. Why are we allowing this kind of situation in our own district? We can control that ourselves. For me, I'm taking it upon myself. I'm engaging this. Get up, Dana, to GS. I'm telling them to say, look here, you are going to pick 3 people without helmet. You're afraid you pick your own mother or your own sister. And you also a motor.
Solwezi Municipal Council Acting Director of Finance, Japhet Mutayachalo, has disclosed that some properties owners in improved areas will be required to pay ground rates. This follows the local authorities' resolve that all developed residential areas must be paying 100 kwacha for ground rates. Mr. Mutayachalo says the move will be effective December 31st, 2023, following the Council's approval to begin collecting ground rates in the 2024 budget. He says the Council is finalizing capturing property owners in developed areas and putting them in the Council's database so that those who will not be complying will be tracked.
Also the introduction of the billing system for ground rates in unimproved areas. These are those areas like Muzabula, Kimale, those areas where we give occupants licenses. Those people pay 100 kwacha per year as ground rate. So we are introducing a system where we capture all the residents in those areas, put them in the system so that we'll be able to track and see who has paid and who has not paid. In that way, it also reduces on our running cost in terms of revenue collection, because we'll be going direct to the targeted people. This is also coming to billboards. We are also entering all the billboards into the system. We'll be able to tell if his worship has a billboard and he hasn't been paying for 5 years, the system will be able to tell us that his worship has not been paying for 5 years. What is the way forward? And like the current situation where others will just come and say, Nari Pirangamo. So to avoid those quarrels, we are entering the data for billboards into the system. As we run bills for property rates, ground rates, even the bills for billboards will be run together. If you don't pay, zero.
We now take our first commercial break. We have more news coming up. Don't go away.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, fourth close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. Rain Glow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back, and now for the rest of the news. Our government is considering removing visas for all African countries to achieve free flow and easy movement of tourists. Speaking at the 2023 Rwanda Air Awards in Lusaka, Tourism Minister Rodney Sikumba says Zambia would like to go the Rwandese way to encourage more Africans to visit Zambia. He says government supports such initiatives and appreciates the contribution of the airline and travels agencies as they help to promote Destination Zambia through business and leisure connections with different destinations worldwide. Mr. Sikumba said his ministry particularly acknowledges the efforts of the creative and resilient minds in the travel trade industry. And Rwandan High Commissioner to Zambia, Ambassador Amagdine Rugina, said the contribution of Rwanda Air to the tourism sector and general economy of that country is immense. He said the Visit Rwanda campaign has been a game changer, boosting tourists' arrivals and tourism offing, standing at $445 million United States dollars by the year 2021.
Partnerships such as these have the potential to unlock the tourism sector for economic transformation, job creation, and boost trade exchange for both Rwanda and Zambia. And I'd like to take this opportunity to just make mention that having had our budget approved just the other day in Parliament has opened up more opportunities which will speak to that of airlines. And of course, most of the airlines would only want to fly to a destination if at all is what we like to call, for lack of a better term, add-ons. But I think our ultimate goal is to ensuring that we also remove visa restrictions for our colleagues in the African continent. A discussion that is on the table, and when the soup is ready, we'll be able to serve it as it were.
Politically, Rwanda's stable growth strongly attributes and reaffirms the airline's efforts to contribute to Rwanda's national economic development, particularly in enabling the Rwanda tourism sector. Tourism in Rwanda has been identified by the government as one of the major backbones contributing to the Rwandan economy. A good example of this is the Visit Rwanda tourism campaign, which has established positive reputation with million people from across the globe that are associated with it, and has provided a platform for Rwanda to showcase its tourism attraction, cultural heritage.
Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, Charles Milupi, says he is impressed with the roadworks on Libonda, Lyambai and Charlton roads that are currently being worked on in actively. Mr. Milupi, who toured the ongoing works on Friday, said the construction of the 3 roads have reached the government's desire to deliver quality work. Speaking earlier, Mungu Mayor Nyambe Muyumbana said the construction of the roads will change the face of the city. Here's a report.
This road heading to provincial administration has never been worked on since the Kaunda era, making it difficult for pedestrians and motorists to use. This road, which is in a deplorable state, was a major concern for many road users and motorists. Minister of Infrastructure, Housing and Urban Development, Charles Milupi, who impacts the works on the Libonda and Lyambai roads, is happy that the roads have met government's standard and desire of delivering quality road network across the country. The minister toured some construction sites in the 2 districts of Mungu and Rimonga respectively.
So that was achieved. The next item is the quality. The quality of this road that we are doing here will be second to none, to be of the highest international standards.
I've seen the road. It's completely in line with the government's expectations of right costs, specified quality, and also delivered on time.
And Mungu Town Mayor Nyambe Muyumbana says the delivering of the Libonda road will ease movement.
With the current initiatives of working of this road, this is a road that was a bit narrow and passing in front of our main office for the PS, so it was giving a bad picture about our district. So the people of Mungu are excited and are happy with the new Dawn's government for delivering this road. When money is available, we also appreciate to consider us for these roads within the town, the Hospital Road, the ShopRite Road, and many other roads that are within the town that are in the Province State.
Meanwhile, Western Province Provincial Road Development Agency (RDA) Regional Manager Paul Habasimbi outlined the scope of works, and some road users shared their views.
As you have noticed, the contractor has currently ripped off the existing road surface to get to what we are calling the roadbed or subgrade layer. From here, the contractor is going to dump some gravel material to the tune of about 150 millimeters. That will be chemically stabilized. In terms of the total width of this road is 9.8 meters in terms of width. So it encompasses 3.4 meters of a lane. So 3.4 meters on both lanes, and then 1.5 meters of a shoulder. So altogether it's coming to 9.8 meters.
Mota nilikuititela ngalo na mamauto hakuna kono lufitela. Chelo aitumela kwa zero piliyeso ilikuweza hala kwa mkwa kwa walu na all this road.
The state of this road before this works, it was very narrow. It was so narrow that two vehicles could not bypass each other. Now that it's being worked on, and it will lift the face of Mungu.
For Camnet News, Musio Wakabia reporting in Mungu, Western Province.
On that note, we take another set of commercials. Still ahead, we have international and sports news. Don't go away.
Introducing Darren B, a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mosi Road in Ibex Hill, fourth close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Water is life. Each drop counts, and each must be cherished. Our tried and tested product meets all international standards. With our smart drip technology, we aim to deliver precision irrigation designed to reduce blockage and wastage, ensuring a high yield. RenGlow, your smart irrigation partner.
Welcome back, and now in international news, Burundi's Supreme Court has sentenced former Prime Minister Alain Bunyoni to life imprisonment on Friday. He was convicted on charges including attempting to overthrow the government, illicit enrichment and destabilizing the economy, a judicial source has said. The former general was named Prime Minister in July 2020, then dismissed in September 2022. His ouster came just days after President Evariste Ndayishimiye warned of a coup plot against him. The court sitting in session at the prison where Bunyoni was detained followed the prosecution's requests. It also ordered the authorities to confiscate 4 houses and buildings, as well as a land parcel and 14 vehicles belonging to Bunyoni. 5 others in the dock, including 2 main co-defendants, a police colonel and a senior intelligence agent, received sentences ranging from 3 years to 15 years. Here now is a roundup of international news.
Burundi's Supreme Court sentenced former Prime Minister Alain Bunyoni to life in prison on Friday He was convicted on charges including attempting to overthrow the government, illicit enrichment, and destabilizing the economy, a judicial source said. The former general was named PM in July 2020, then dismissed in September 2022. His ouster came just days after President Evariste Ndayishimiye warned of a coup plot against him. The court sitting in session at the prison where Bunyoni was detained followed the prosecution's request. It also ordered the authorities to confiscate 4 houses and buildings, as well as a land parcel and 14 vehicles belonging to Bunyoni. 5 others in the dock, including the 2 main co-defendants, police colonel and the senior intelligence agent, received sentences ranging from 3 years to 15 years. The 7th defendant, a driver, was acquitted, the judicial source added. 51-year-old Bunyoni pleaded not guilty to all charges at the start of the trial. At the time, he said he should be acquitted because of a lack of evidence. A close ally of late President Pierre Nkurunziza, Bunyoni was an influential figure in the ruling CNDD-FDD party.
My name is Ronnie Casserols. I'm a South African. I served in the liberation struggle all my adult life. I became a minister in Mr. Mandela's government. Growing up in Johannesburg in the 1940s from a Jewish immigrant family, I was very affected by the Nazi Holocaust. But I began looking around as I grew up in South Africa, and I couldn't bear seeing the way black people were treated. The Sharpeville massacre took place in March of 1960. And I felt then that I had to act. My life changed and I got deeply involved in the struggle to liberate South Africa, where you have one oppressor group that perpetuates repression over other races in order to maintain their supremacy and to perpetuate the system. And that's apartheid. So it can be applied anywhere in the world, and it has been in apartheid Israel, a settler colonial state originally and an apartheid state as well, just like South Africa. So you're talking about 75 years of apartheid Israel from 1948, in which they, through terror and violence and massacres and instilling huge fear into people, they pushed 700,000 or more Palestinians in their ethnic cleansing to clear the territory of Palestine. This is genocide, and we see in this crisis of so many deaths through a bombing campaign, an assault with tanks and artillery, reducing 2/3 of the housing to rubble. It's absolutely butchery, it's abominable, and the world is in fact standing up.
Make sure to subscribe to our channel to get the latest news from Al Jazeera.
Over 250 South Sudanese soldiers left on Friday the Democratic Republic of Congo's east. The contingent left in 3 rotations throughout the day, according to a military source. The soldiers took off from Goma, bound for Juba. After the Kenyans, the South Sudanese are the latest group from an East African Community EAC regional force to withdraw from eastern DRC. The regional force includes Uganda and Burundi, who are set to leave in the coming weeks. The 7-nation EAC first deployed troops in the violence-plagued eastern DRC in November 2022. They deployed at the invitation of the DRC authorities and were tasked with overseeing the withdrawal of M23 fighters from eastern DRC. But Congolese President Tshisekedi and local residents accused the force of cohabitating with the rebels rather than forcing them to lay down arms. Kinshasa then refused to renew the force's mandate. Analysts believe the DRC looks to replace the EAC soldiers with troops from the Southern African Development Community, SADC.
The Alliance of Road Safety non-governmental organization in Zambia has stressed that road safety is a responsibility of all road users in the country. Alliance representative Jeremy Thorncroft says the people must strive to arrive alive all the time by being road safety conscious. Speaking during the Play for Road Safety tournament in Lusaka on Saturday, 9th December 2023, Mr. Thorncroft implored public service vehicle operators to seek to protect commuters on the road. Insurers Association of Zambia Consumer Education and Risk Manager Kambole Chituo says the insurance sector is keen to support interventions that seek to reduce accidents on the Zambian roads. Mr. Chituo implored citizens to embrace insurance, in which he said becomes handy in events of calamities. Meanwhile, Safety for People on the Move Secretary General Collins Mwape thanked the sponsors and the participating teams for supporting road safety interventions.
Your duty as a bus driver or taxi driver is not to rush. As much as you have been given a task to make your cash in, think of your passengers. Think of those people who are walking on the road. They deserve to be treated as people as well. Let us ensure we take care of each other. I am your brother, you are my brother, you are my sister. At times it is not nice to complain that we've been victimized by RATSA or the police. It's not them. They are simply trying to enforce laws that exist. Our duty as citizens of Zambia is to make sure we abide by those laws.
It is still your liability, but insurance steps in to pay on your behalf. And it's very important that all drivers on the road should be insured, so that when an incident happens, you do not struggle by looking for a loan, feeling harassed all the time in order to pay those compensations. But insurance pays on your behalf. So we shouldn't think of insurance as some kind of indirect tax. Rather, it's for your own protection, so that it will be able to pay on your behalf when some incident happens. Likewise, if someone causes loss to you, it will be able to help them compensate you. But as always, our first choice is prevention. Prevention is the best. We want to see less accidents on the roads. We want to see less losses, less injuries on our roads.
That the lives and property we lost in the past would have been avoided, but only, of course, if all road users involved had behaved safely. Road safety user behavior goes beyond observing traffic rules and regulation. It calls for the utmost courtesy, cooperation, patience, and giving space to other road users.
The Lusaka media team will play Limatawa bus drivers in the semi-finals of the tournament after beating Insurers by 3-0 at OYDC Zambia Sports Development Center. Others to play in Sunday's semi-finals are Zambia Police Traffic Division versus Online Taxis. Winners in the two encounters will play in the final, while losers will play in the third and fourth positions. On that sporting note, we come to the end of this evening's news, but before we go, we take a look at the stories that made the headlines. Cancellation of TUTWA NGULUBE'S memorial service annoys PF. ZACA urges ZICTA to prescribe punitive measures to erring mobile service providers. Speaker of the National Assembly advised to ignore expulsion of 9 PF MPs. And in international news, a former Burundian Prime Minister sentenced to life imprisonment. And in sports news, road safety stakeholders battle it out in a football tournament. That's it. But before we go, let's now look at the Camnet verse of the day, which comes from the book of Jeremiah, chapter 10, verse 10. And it reads, "But the Lord is the true God. He is a living God and an everlasting King. At his wrath the earth shall tremble, and the nations shall not be able to abide his indignation." That's it. That's all we had for the news. Don't forget to join us for another bulletin. On behalf of the entire news team, have a blessed evening.